Welcome back to the Tackling Basketball Podcast. My name is Evan.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Micah.
And this is Coda, a special guest star you'll hear clicking around throughout the day.
Yeah, hardwood floors, long nails, bad combination. But it is what it is. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Have a pretty fun episode ahead, at least we like to think so. We're going to jump right into it, though, with our Toast and Roast segment, and we'll kick it off with Jonathan's Toast of the Week. Jonathan, who are you toasting?
I am toasting Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, of course, who just played on Monday a thrilling NBA preseason game, which is a rare thing to say. Thankfully, the preseason's short and we almost have real games here soon. But man, this one was fun. Step aside Kristaps Porzingis, because the battle for the nickname Unicorn is heating up, and you're no longer in the running. We saw 7'1" Holmgren versus 7'4" Wembanyama, and only got less than 20 minutes out of each. Played for mostly just the first half. Wemby, in 19 minutes, scored 20 points on 8 for 13 shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Impressive stat line for your first ever appearance. And Holmgren outplayed him. 16 minutes, 21 points on 7 for 10 shooting, 9 rebounds, an assist, and a block. And, I mean, it's just going to be so exciting to have a couple of more big men back in the league, a little bit of a resurgency. The conversation for the best big man in the game has largely been dominated by just 3 names for a long time. So having 2 people step up and sort of stake their claim, hopefully really soon, will be really entertaining for everyone. So,
if Chet Holmgren has a phenomenal season, is the best rookie of the season, would you be fine with him winning Rookie of the Year like Ben Simmons did on his technically second year?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. Because you get a whole year to make team chemistry and learn the schemes and everything. I didn't like it when Ben Simmons won it.
I hated it when Simmons won it because also he
didn't
wasn't
stand
as injured
out
either.
Yeah,
he didn't stand out. But
Yeah, I think if he's far and away the best, I could get over it.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't really see that happening with this rookie core.
I mean, with Bilal Coulibaly coming out of this, he's going to be a tough one to beat.
And we're picking up from last week.
I hate the fact that I'm now rooting against this poor kid purely for this reason.
It's not too late to put your bet down on him.
Right. Micah, who are you toasting this week?
I'm toasting the Jacksonville Jaguars, or should I say the London Jaguars.
Probably soon, yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. I mean, just after a rough start to the season, going to London seemed to fix a lot of their problems. Just blowing out the Falcons in week 4, which kind of they should. And then winning a good game over the Bills last week. Looks like their team is actually starting to get put together. Hopefully this is a trajectory that they can stay on that I think most people think they should have already been doing.
They're a young team. I don't expect some minor hiccups along the way, but they're showing flashes of what they can be.
For sure. Also, mostly I just wanted to toast them because they beat the Bills and that put the Dolphins number 1 at the division. So
yeah,
thanks, Jags.
Love that. Love the pettiness.
Weird things always happen in London too. I'm not knocking the Bills too hard for that loss,
right?
Because first of all, the Jaguars were in London for over a week versus the couple of days for the Bills. But even with all of the technicalities, it was still an impressive win for them, and definitely trustworthy.
Travis Etienne had an absolute day, and if the Jags can get that out of him on a consistent basis, and you combine that with Trevor Lawrence's ability to pass, and he's clearly figuring out timing with his receivers and building that rapport, because it's kind of a brand new receiving core almost for the Jags, kind of similar to the Ravens.
Yeah.
So, Jags can definitely be very, very dangerous if they can continue this momentum.
For sure.
And Trevor Lawrence looks like a horse. Fun fact.
We're still in the toast segment.
I'm not sure that was a roast or a toast, honestly. It was more just a
statement of fact.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm toasting Brock Purdy this week. for pretty obvious reasons. He absolutely balled out against the Dallas Cowboys. He looked phenomenal. And he also, to me at least, he looked like so much more than just a game manager. He had great passes while on the run. He was dropping beautiful dimes right over defenders. His 3 touchdown passes to Kittle were all just things of beauty. He looked amazing. And this is just now the 5th game this season that he has looked amazing. It was just easy to kind of discount the first 4 games because CMC played phenomenal and it was against weaker opponents.
Right.
But when you go in and you do that to the Dallas Cowboys defense, I mean, there's not much to say there. I know Trayvon Diggs is out, but that Cowboys secondary is still phenomenal. He made them look like absolute garbage. I absolutely think Brock Purdy should be in the MVP conversation. I'm not saying he should be the front runner, but he absolutely should be in that conversation because he is leading this Niners team. The argument that people have of he's a system quarterback is such BS to me. This 49ers team never looked this good under Jimmy Garoppolo or the couple of games under Trey Lance. Yes, you benefit from having good people around you, but so does Patrick Mahomes, and so did Aaron Rodgers in his heyday. So did Tom Brady. You can't knock the guy for that. Purdy has been phenomenal. I hope he continues. As much as I have a grudge against the Niners because I'm a Packers fan, I kind of can't help but root for them because it's fun to root for a guy who was Mr. Irrelevant, who still has a frickin' roommate living in San Francisco and drives a Toyota Sequoia. Yeah. And he also looks 12. I love Brock Purdy. It's fun to root for him. It's fun to root for CMC. So, way to go, Brock Purdy. Hope the season keeps going well. Cheers to him.
He's been impressively mistake-free, too.
Yeah.
No interceptions so far this year.
I mean,
no interceptions for a long time.
Well, and I saw an interview where they were asking the linemen what they think of him in in the huddle and stuff, and they were a couple of the guys said it's almost like having someone like Peyton Manning come in, where it just exudes confidence, is always calm, is always poised, and it's just all right, here's the play we're running, we're going to get out, and we're going to be successful because we're the freaking 49ers. Yeah. Which is incredibly impressive, not only as a second-year player, but as Mr. Irrelevant as a second-year player. So
it's just, I'm a little scared for what he can become, I don't want another Tom Brady, which he's got a long way to go for that.
Yeah.
But his style of play, very intelligent, very controlled, not shockingly athletic, drafted incredibly late. A lot of it is echoes, and I don't think he'll obviously reach that peak because you can't project anyone to ever do that. But I think 49ers have a lot to be excited for, and a lot of other teams have a lot to be afraid of.
Yeah. Well, if this core can stay healthy too, they got a good 2-3 year window here too, where they could do some damage. So I mean, they could potentially come away here in the next couple of years with a couple Super Bowl rings if they stay healthy and really just push it. Because Shanahan's a fantastic coach. So, all right, too much feel good stuff for me. Over to some knocking some people, and we have a very interesting first one here. I'm curious to see where Jonathan's going to go with this.
This is. Strangely, my favorite annual article in sports, and it just dropped. It's the annual NBA GM survey. And I think a lot of the reason I love it is that I get to sort of see into the minds of what is supposed to be the greatest minds in front offices, and sort of see who they are thinking is the best team, who they are thinking is the best big man, the best player to start your team with. The best young core, things like that. And it's really interesting survey to read every year. But today, I want to twist it a little bit and talk about the really weird, fucked up votes made by quote-unquote that one GM. It's an anonymous survey. All 30 GMs do it. I really wish it wasn't anonymous, because this would have made an excellent quiz. I tell you the hot take from a GM, and then you guys have to guess which team it came from. But unfortunately, I just have to say the hot takes. And we're starting out with one GM had the Clippers as the 1 seed in the West. 2 GMs had the Nuggets outside of the top 4. 5 GMs have the Suns outside of the top 4, which both of those like have a little bit of merit, but also
the Suns more than the Nuggets.
I feel like the Nuggets is definitely you're banking on an injury to Jamal Murray or Jokic.
But also you look at the East, and no GM put either the Bucks or the Celtics outside the top 2.
Right. Have you seen the rest of the East?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, one GM had Kyrie Irving as his breakout player of the year, which, like, one of us two doesn't know what that means. I think it's him.
Unless you're considering breakout, oh my goodness, he played an entire season without complaining and asking out.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the age of 31 years old, Kyrie Irving is about to break out.
The multi-time All-Star NBA champion. That guy just needs
MVP
to really break
getter,
out.
Oh man. One GM had Jason Tatum as the best shooting guard in the league.
Wouldn't call him a shooting guard.
No, he's listed as a small forward / power forward.
I literally don't think he has ever played at the shooting guard position, so that's cool.
Which, if he qualifies for that, why wasn't Jokic the best point guard?
Yeah.
One GM said that the Thunder made the best offseason moves, which that doesn't sound egregious until I bring up what they were. They traded for Bertans and Oladipo. That's it. I feel like a lot of teams did a lot more to better. Like, granted, they're adding Holmgren, but that wasn't an offseason move, and this was very explicitly moves, not who improved best. One GM said that the acquisition of Yusuf Nurkic will have the biggest impact of any move.
Hey, to be fair, it happened once before.
Nurk fever, baby.
Like, that's not even the most impactful on that team. One GM had Sasha Vezinkov to win Rookie of the Year. If you're wondering who that is, me too. He is an undrafted free agent out of Bulgaria.
I don't know who he is, but he's better than frickin' Bilal Koulibaly.
Apparently. One GM had Alex Caruso as the best defender in the league. Another had Lou Dort.
Okay,
Lou Dort, it makes a little more sense, but...
Yeah, they're good, scrappy defenders. They're a defender you want on your team. I'll give you that much.
And then the last one I have for us is there were a lot of rule changes this offseason, and they were asked which new rule will pose the biggest challenge for your staff, for your coaching staff to adjust to. And 2 of them said the anti-flopping policy would be the biggest challenge to the coaches.
I didn't know.
So was that Philadelphia and whoever is thinking they're going to get James Harden?
I don't know, man. But yeah.
So 2 GMs just flat out admitted that their coaches teach flopping.
Yeah.
I love this survey every time it comes out. This is kind of a toast because I love it so much, but for that one GM that did all this shit, what the hell,
I really hope that was all one guy.
I do too.
He had just snorted some crack beforehand and then given the survey, he's like, I guess I should fill this out now. Well, my brain's hot.
His name was Joe Cronin. No, I'm just kidding. I can't hate on Joe Cronin right
Joe
now.
Cronin's great.
He's been doing good.
Yeah.
All right, Micah, who are you roasting this week?
I mean, I'm roasting the Patriots. How can you not after these last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
They've been playing so bad. Week 4 losing 30-38 to the Cowboys, which losing to the Cowboys, fine. But then following up and getting shut out 34-0 against the Saints. It's so embarrassing. This is their worst start since 2000 when Belichick was on his first season with the team. They have the lowest points in the league so far, and a lot of teams, or not a lot of teams, some teams have only played 4 games. But one of my favorite parts of this was looking at Mac Jones' stat line throughout the last 5 games, because it just goes down.
Yeah.
He started real good against the Eagles, getting 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. and then all the passing yards goes down, all the touchdowns go down, and all the interceptions go up in the next 5 games, just gradually.
So
He's just getting so bad. I'm really excited to see what the last game looks like. Like 0 yards, 7 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. But they've been abysmal these last 2 games. It has been embarrassing.
Well, it's crazy too because it's been 2 games in a row that he's been benched towards the end of the game, so like putting Bailey Zappi, and still after this last game, Bill Belichick was like, "No, Mac is our starter," and it's like, dude, just like you got to try something different at this point, and also just the fact that Bill just refuses to be like, "Okay, we're just gonna go into tank mode," like. Because if I'm the Patriots at this point, dude, send it and try and get Caleb Williams. Like, your season is... Well, if the Panthers get 1 game, maybe.
The Bears' schedule is too easy, and they're losing out, so...
So, I don't know, man. It's just, Mac is not the answer in New England, which sucks because, like, he actually had a very solid rookie season, but then he's just been shit other than that.
Yeah.
And then... I would also like to say for this graphic, I just Googled sad Mac Jones, and I just want to say there was way too many options to choose from.
That's good.
I will say, as far as my fantasy team goes, I have Billy Zapp, so kind of hopeful that this continues and they just start heading.
And I'm pretty sure he's better than Mac Jones anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, time to roast another quarterback. The guy who played opposite side of Brock Purdy, and other than him being on the Cowboys, I don't really have a reason to hate Dak Prescott. But God, do I love and I just love watching him fail. I don't know why, but I just do. It brings me joy and warms my heart. And boy, oh boy, did he suck versus the 49ers. I mean, their offense was able to do nothing. He threw 3 interceptions, and to be fair to him, the last 2 were when they were down by like 30. They had to air it out. So to a certain degree, it's like, okay, you feel a little bit more pressure to force things. But when you literally throw it directly to defenders, hard to excuse that one.
Yeah.
And I've never understood all the people that just defend Dak. I've never understood how year after year we come into the season and after Dak Prescott finished last season failing in primetime moments and failing against good teams, we come into next season and it's like, the Cowboys will be good this year and Dak is going to change. And what have we seen this year? Oh, against the Cardinals and the 49ers, 2 teams who actually put up a fight, Dak sucked. Like, yeah, sure, they've blown out all the shit teams that they've played this year. The Cardinals put up a fight, as they have done in every single game. Way to go, Cardinals. Honorable toast, by the way. They've been actually decent. But Cardinals beat them, which they shouldn't have. And then this weekend, the 49ers absolutely steamrolled the Cowboys. There's just no more room for Dak to hide. Like, he's been in the league so long, you can no longer say, like, oh, he'll figure out how to play against good teams eventually. No, like, he should have figured it out a while ago. Dak sucks.
Yeah. I got nothing to add.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I'm getting pretty good at this roast thing. I really enjoy it.
I think you're the most passionate about it. I appreciate it.
I'm channeling my inner Stephen A.
Oh, yeah.
Which is perfect because I'm shitting on the Cowboys. With that, though, we'll transition over to our power rankings. And I think a fun thing this week to see was as we're getting into the season here, we're really lining up on a lot of teams. Everything is close. We have very few teams who are now major discrepancies. Our top 5s are all pretty much exactly the same. Bottom 5s are all pretty much exactly the same. But Micah, over to you. Who are your biggest risers and fallers this week?
I had the Steelers rising quite a bit after having them fall quite a bit after having them rise a lot. I have no idea what this team is doing.
They're the boomerang team in the NFL.
They keep on beating good teams and losing to terrible teams. Right. They're so confusing. Like, beating Baltimore, was it 17-10?
Yeah.
I think. I don't understand how. I also don't understand how the Ravens lost that game, but I feel like they're going to be a team this entire season that just keeps on jumping for me. Because, like, they show really good spurts, and then they just show ineptitude the next week. I don't understand. I feel like they moved 6 spots, and that was the biggest rise and fall, which kind of feels good that we're actually getting to a place in the season where, like, things are starting to settle, feeling good about everything. I mean, obviously all of us brought the 49ers up to number 1 after that game. But
about damn time, you two.
I mean, they were always...
You didn't have them at number 1 either.
I had them at 2. I had them at number 1 for the first 3 weeks, then I had them at 2 last week.
I had them at 3 last week. I had
them at 5 last week. Come on. I mean, and to be like, they earned 1 for sure. Brock Purdy, like we said earlier, hasn't thrown a pit. Their defense has allowed 23, 16, 12, 10, and 7 points. Incredible defense. Their offense has yet to score less than 30, so you combine their worst offense output with the best opponent offense, and they still win every game. Granted, like I said earlier, mostly weaker opponents, but they proved themselves against the Cowboys, and I can't hold them out any longer. These other teams have not been impressive enough. They're 5-0 now and doing really, really well along the way. I dropped the Bills further than anyone. I think that it is theoretically an overreaction, but they're a 2-loss team now. A lot of these other teams are playing well enough to have been ranked above a 2-loss team 5 weeks deep. The Lions now have an absolute stranglehold on the division after a couple of 1-4 Panthers and Vikings, and the Packers are now a 3-loss team as well. So Lions are just going to run away with it probably. Jaguars an impressive win. Gotta say, y'all are your takes on putting the Chargers and Commanders there, just insane. I have this 13 and 14 personally, but you can do what you want.
You had me in the first half there, not gonna lie. I was very confused.
Yeah, I was I thought that was...
Bengals are probably my biggest riser, I think, looking at this, and or behind the Jaguars. And that's because they're on a 2-game win streak after starting really, really poorly. So if we start to see Joe Burrow get a little bit healthier, then they might become one of the very few teams to ever make playoffs after starting 0-3. It's unlikely because that's a huge hole to climb out of, but they've done exactly what they need to try.
Well, they're also, 1 game back currently in their division because the AFC North is just an absolute cluster. Every single team, the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns all have a week where they're good, and then the very next week they're shit. And it's just a mess. But yeah, if the Bengals played like they did yesterday and Joe Burrow just really grasps onto that mentality of F it, Jamar's down there somewhere, the Bengals will be fine.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I didn't throw the Steelers higher. Twofold. One, I didn't want to get whiplash. And 2, they've mostly beat... I would say they won games that they shouldn't. They lost games that they shouldn't. But their wins come against volatile, weird teams that have been showing some weird symptoms this year already. So I still need to see more from them to move them any higher.
Yeah.
It was a great win this week, but this is such a weird team.
Yeah, they've been their win. They have a win against the Browns and the Ravens, and arguably they played the Browns in their worst performance so far, and the Ravens in their worst performance so far. So again, you can partially attribute that to the Steelers' defense because T.J. Watt and all of them are fantastic. At the same time, the Ravens' defense, and I had the Ravens dropping 4 out of the top 10 now. The Ravens' offense looks broken. That offense should be so much better than it is. And, I get that it's a new receiving core and everything, but, it's week 5. You should have it figured out by now. But when you have
it's a weak receiving core as well. It's new, and I also don't think it's that great. A lot of people have it higher than they should.
Yeah, but It's just like they should be putting up more than 10 points on the Steelers.
Yeah,
is what I'm
they
saying.
should.
Like I know the Steelers defense is good, but you should be able to figure it out when you're Lamar Jackson, when you have Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers. Like you have plenty of offensive talent there to put points on the board, and they just aren't really. It's bizarre. They have some stuff to figure out. Love how we've all now just settled into the fact that the Panthers are the worst because they are.
Yeah. Everyone else has gotten a win at this point.
Yeah. Poor Panthers. And I love that Micah has the Broncos at 31. I was tempted. Trust me, I was tempted. Because Broncos are another team. I don't know what it is. I feel like Sean Payton just seems like rusty. It almost feels like he forgot how to coach an offense like during his year. Because like
Vince Joseph definitely forgot how to coach defenses.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, Jonathan and I were at the game. That play where Russ wound up fumbling and the Jets got the scoop and score. On that play, they were doing this weird trick play bullshit thing when the Jets' top 3 corners were all out. It was like, just drop back, throw. Like you don't need to be running some trick, especially in that moment where you just need to get down the field. Yeah. Like I just don't know what that was about. And even that, Russ only had 66 passing yards through 3 quarters. Mother of God. Like, I know Russ has looked good up to this point, but the Jets were without their second best corner for the entire game, and then Sauce went out for the entire fourth quarter. Like, you should be able to pass the ball. Like, I know the Jets' defense is good, but you should be able to move the chains a bit, and the Broncos just...
They were in the fourth when Sauce got out, but, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like... So the Broncos, they're in such a tough spot. So
yeah. 8 years of reloading. We're not in a rebuild. We'll be good next year. Just.
Hey. Man, what happened with I didn't watch that game, but I was looking at like the scoring plays last night as I was going through this, and there was an intentional grounding in the end zone that resulted in a safety.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah, that could.
It's holding in the end zone and intentional grounding in the end zone are both safeties. I don't know if I would have necessarily thought that was an intentional grounding.
Okay.
Your dad did though, so apparently it's very up to, which is tough. That means that's the referee 50-50, so you can't really say it was an egregious call.
There was a receiver in the direction he was trying to throw it. The ball went nowhere close because he was being sacked.
Okay.
Now, he was trying to throw out of the sack. He didn't care if it made it to the receiver, which theoretically is intentional grounding.
Yeah.
But he saw the receiver. He was going that way.
Okay.
I don't know. It goes either way. It counts as a safety, and it was not our worst problem that game.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that probably didn't change the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
It would have been 29-21 instead. So,
man, I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a really fun moment in the Dolphins game where we got called for a penalty for having 12 men on the field because as the play was starting, one of the Dolphins players was sprinting off of the field. So they threw the flag. And then Mike McDaniel challenged it because that was our 11th player running off of the field.
No way.
Because we were just confused and messed up, and the refs just saw someone sprinting off and didn't make it in time, so we threw the flag, because why would they be doing that if it wasn't 12 people?
I didn't think that was challengeable.
Well, we did.
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome. Nope, that was our 11th person who didn't make it out of bounds in time.
Wow.
Also, shout out Mike McDaniel, an honorable toast to him for in that interview question where they're like, you've scored you had the most passing and rushing yards in NFL history through 5 games, or you're leading the league. How does that make you feel? Oh, mission accomplished.
He's such a funny
guy. I love Mike McDaniel. All right, we'll shift over to matchups of the week. I feel like this is another week where the matchups were not exactly top quality. So I was scraping a little bit. Micah seemed to kind of get the pick of the crop, which I got it last week. So Micah can have a chance at it. So Micah... Oh, wait, no, Jonathan got it. Never mind, Jonathan, go for it.
All right. So,
I don't know.
Cowboys versus Chargers. Both of these teams, a couple of losses each. Both of them have faced difficult opponents. and they are now both in a huge hole if they want to compete for their division title. Granted, they are competing for the division title against probably or possibly the two best teams in each division or in each conference, in the Eagles and the Chiefs. Possibly the two best teams. We each have one other ahead of them in the power rankings. But what's more important than trying to compete for this difficult division is the loser will be in a huge hole for even trying to make the wild card game.
Yeah.
3 losses this early in the season is going to be a difficult thing to recover from for both of these franchises. And it might even spur a couple of interesting trades at the deadline for whoever winds up losing this game.
Please let the Chargers win. Please let the Chargers win.
The other big thing here is there are a couple of theoretically high-powered offenses. Chargers have been a little bit floundering recently, but they should be a high-powered offense. So this one could be a really fun one to watch, sort of a high-scoring affair in. It's most of what I have to say about it. Can't wait for the NBA to start.
Jonathan has already given up on the NFL 5 weeks into the season. All right, Mike, over to you.
All right, I'm picking the 49ers versus the Browns, mostly because I'm a sucker for patterns. And the Browns have a fun last 5 games because they started off just destroying the Bengals 24-3. They started on a huge high and then lost to the Steelers and then just destroyed the Titans 27-3 and then got destroyed by the Ravens. So, according to the pattern, they should play phenomenal next week against who we all agree is the best team in the league right now, against the 49ers. So, I'm hoping that the trend stays and the Browns just play really good football, because if they do, this will be an incredibly fun game. I still think the 49ers should win this. But this looks like a real fun matchup.
Man, I'm sad that you stole this if your whole argument was the pattern.
Yeah, patterns are fun.
I really need to open up the document to really play with this shit.
You really do. See, you're excited for the NBA to start because your team is actually good there. I'm excited for the NBA to start because I know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. As a fantasy owner of both Brock Purdy and Deshaun Watson, I hope that both teams score 100 points in this game and both quarterbacks just absolutely ball out. For my matchup of the week, I am going the NFL Shit Bowl 2023. Here we go. Vikings, Bears for the bottom of the NFC North, baby. I find this one interesting because, like Jonathan has alluded to, the Vikings are already in a tough position at this point if they want to be making playoffs or wild card. Granted, it is the NFC. Making the wild card in the NFC is way easier than making the wild card in the AFC, but still tough position for the Vikings. If the Vikings lose this one, they would be bottom of the NFC North, which would just be crazy. But I also feel like we would all pretty much say they're not making playoffs, which, considering I'm pretty sure we all picked the Vikings to win the division, that would be crazy. On the flip side, I am of the opinion the Bears should just tank. They currently have the 1 and the 2. Why screw themselves out of the position of the 2nd overall pick and continue to win football games? And
the reason why is because you need to see what Justin Fields is, give him the best chance you can, and then figure out what to do with your draft capital from there.
That's logical. This is the Chicago Bears. So I think this game will be interesting. It'll also just be interesting to see, the Vikings, especially more than likely, this will be the Vikings without Justin Jefferson. And Vikings without Justin Jefferson don't have a reason to exist.
It's more than likely. It's confirmed. He's on IR now, I think.
Yeah. So this will be interesting to watch because the Chicago defense, other than randomly against the Commanders when they remembered how to play football, Bears defense has not been great this year. Offense has been mediocre. Vikings pretty much the exact same way. So I don't know. I think this one will be kind of interesting just as an NFC North fan, just to kind of see which shit team comes out on top here.
Interesting is a weird adjective for this game.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Not good, not bad, interesting. All right. enough of the NFL. Since Jonathan's so freaking excited for the NBA season, I guess we'll talk about some NBA.
Yay!
Last week we gave you our Eastern Conference predictions. Like we said last week, we're tiering them into the 6 teams that are automatically in, making playoffs, the play-in teams, and then the teams that are not making the postseason at all. We will get a point if we tier them correctly, and then an extra point at the end of the season, obviously, if we get them in the exact right spot. I think we all agree the Eastern Conference was way easier to do than the Western Conference. We were all texting earlier today about, and last night, going, the bottom 5 teams feel good. The top 2, 3, maybe teams feel good. Everything else,
the bottom 4 teams.
We only agree on the bottom 4.
Yeah. So from 11 to
both of us have a team like clearing the play-in that Jonathan has not even making.
Meanwhile, I have the Thunder in the playoffs, and you have the Thunder missing. And then Mavericks we're all pretty close on, but yeah.
No, so this is an absolute cluster. I pretty much, the way I did this is I tried for about 4 minutes and then my brain hurt and I just kind of started throwing shit in random order. So we'll see how that works out. But Micah, kick us off.
Yeah. I spent more time on this than anything so far in this season of the podcast.
And you pretty much put up exactly what I put up.
Like I was racking my brain for this. I mean, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is the Pelicans, I guess, because Jonathan has them at 11, and both me and Evan has them at 5. And I will say,
Zion's a 90 overall, apparently. So,
I will say, if Zion gets injured and is out the majority of the season, they're not going to make the playoffs. This is more hopeful for me. Like when the small amount of time that Zion was actually playing with Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, they were looking like one of the best teams in the league.
For sure.
Like they look so good. I get Brandon Ingram is coming off of a weird, bad FIBA Cup where he didn't play, and when he did, it was awful.
Yeah.
But I'm just really hoping they're healthy because they were such a fun team. And Trey Murphy and Herb Jones are really fun young players that I really like. I don't know. I'm going to assume you're banking on injuries, but why do you have them so low, Jonathan?
Honestly, I have them so low because it's so fucky of a West. I don't even have them as a bad team, probably.
Right.
I do think that Zion does not play a full season for sure. I think that optimistically he plays 60 games. And that they lose almost every game that he doesn't. It's not a very deep roster. They still have a little bit more time to grow together. Mm-hmm. We'll see if they are even capable of doing it with this current iteration. But I see your argument. The team did look good when they were cohesive, when everyone was healthy, when everything was going well.
But that was a very short window.
It was a short window, such little time to confirm the quality of them, to say it with confidence. And then the overwhelming majority of it has been injuries to several players and nothing to fill those holes. So
counter to that though, at least in my thing, I feel the exact same way about my 6 to 10 teams. So, maybe other than the Warriors have obviously proved they're fantastic. Steph and Clay have at least. But, Warriors have also shown signs of struggling. Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't think anybody knows. Micah having them at 6 is praying to God that Cat comes back as the Karl Anthony Towns we know to get them to the 6 seed. And I'm wishing the same thing to get them to 7. Lakers are the Lakers. Jonathan has them at 4. I have them at 8. Who knows? They could miss playoffs altogether because their team is just fucky.
They start 0-10 and then LeBron retires.
Yeah.
I will say their moves at the end of the season where they got a lot younger, got Vanderbilt,
definitely,
put Reeves in a bigger role, getting D'Angelo Russell. They looked so good at the end of the season that they were a team that I was I think they could clear the play-in and just be fine in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Also, who knows how much LeBron and AD are going to.
That's the thing. Like, yeah,
it's so tough.
Yeah,
and there's so many teams like that. Same with the Clippers. Like, I have them low because I just don't have faith that they're going to play.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest fear with both the Warriors and the Lakers is just their age.
Yeah.
But I think with both of these teams, the one thing that really differentiates them from like the Pelicans or let's see what other teams are near there, the Grizzlies, is like these two teams have shown flashes of failures. The other two teams have shown flashes of success, and for now, I'm trusting the majority.
That is very fair. Like, I'm looking at this and I feel like the two of us just went opposite. I said the young teams are going to prevail, and Warriors, Lakers, and Clippers are barely going to make it.
I did go bold as hell with the Thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, I will give you that one.
Because, I mean, Micah, you and I seem to have taken pretty much the same exact mindset when putting in these rankings. I feel like I took that mindset because more and more teams that are older are realizing, like, fuck the regular season.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just, make it through, we'll make playoffs, and that is when we'll push it. Yeah. We'll sit out, we'll stay healthy, we'll stay rested, and then we'll make that push in the postseason, which is exactly why I have the Kings, too, over the Suns, is because the Suns, Durant's going to rest. Who knows? Durant might convince Devin Booker to take some time off. Bradley Beal, historically, I'm pretty sure last year was the first time ever that Bradley Beal was like actually healthy for an entire season. Yeah. So I'm not sure I'm banking on Bradley Beal being healthy for his full season. Yeah. Whereas the Kings are young, and like the Kings NBA Finals is being 2 or the 1 seed in the regular season. Like,
yeah.
Whereas all the other teams, the Warriors are playing for the championship. The Suns are playing for the championship. The Nuggets are now in the category, except the Nuggets are weird because they do both. They play for the championship, and they're like, we're going to destroy you in the regular season. So the Grizzlies are playing for the regular season. Like, it's the older teams have kind of shifted that mindset to, we'll coast by in the regular season, and then we'll turn it up a notch in the postseason. So that's why I feel like I'm favoring youth for standings almost over age.
I think another reason I sort of see some of the age being less of a factor this year is because the Nuggets did what they did last year, and they are going to try to do it again in the regular season too. The Nuggets have the best home court advantage in the entire league, in large part due to altitude. Also, what has become a shockingly impressive crowd. But you don't want to be on the road against the Nuggets in the playoffs. And if you are not pushing for wins in the regular season, you will be on the road against them in the playoffs. So I think that motivates a lot of these other teams to put in more effort than arguably they should. But yeah, I'm sort of expecting I'm expecting a huge resurgence from the Warriors and a decent effort from the Lakers, even the Clippers as well.
Yeah. Well, so I do appreciate how we all have the exact same bottom 4 teams in the league. The Jazz, Blazers, Spurs, and Rockets, we all just envision it being not great.
This is another reason I put the Thunder so high, is outside of the Nuggets, it's a cupcake division. And
divisions don't matter in the NBA at all.
You play each team 4 times.
Yeah,
it matters.
You play most other teams in the West 3 or 4 times. I don't think it really makes a difference.
Not a ton.
Yeah,
a little.
Like
bit.
there are a few, and I guess with the West being so close,
from 3 to 8 is going to be a little bit of difference.
Games. That's.
I am curious though, because we all have the exact same number 1 team. I guess that was a pretty obvious one for all of us. But we all have a different bottom team. Micah, why do you have the Spurs as the worst team in the West?
Because I don't think they're going to play Wemby that much. And they had, in my opinion, the worst team in the league last season.
Probably, yes.
And all they did was add Wemby.
But they have Pop. That's what holds them out.
I know. I get they have Pop, and he has a phenomenal track record with rookie bigs.
But not only rookie bigs, but just teams that are underwhelming. Like, these last few years, they were either in playoffs or barely out, and they've been a horrible team that entire time.
Weren't they 15? Weren't they like
this last year?
Rockets?
Yeah, this last year, yes. But other than this very last year, because they've been on a slow regression. A couple of years ago, their best 2 players were Derek White and Bryn Forbes, and they were in the play-in
Hey,
tournament.
don't you dare talk against ugly-ass Derek White.
Like, if Pop can do it with Derek White and Bryn Forbes, he can do it with Wimby.
Can you please use his full name? Come on.
No, I totally get that. And it was tough to put them at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to play Wemby as much. Like, I do really like Vassell. He's a great player. They still got Jacob Puddle. But I don't know. The Jazz were playing weirdly good after those trades. I think the Rockets got a little bit better and are going to try more. I don't think the Blazers took as big as a step back as I was expecting them to when Dame requested out.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. Like, any of these teams could be number 15.
Yeah,
but that was
sure.
my reasoning for the Spurs.
I'm curious for you, Jonathan, because like Micah just said, I feel like the Jazz showed flashes and, like, for a while, pretty sustained, like, success of, like, a good rebuild going and development. Why are they 15 for you?
They also had a decent amount of turnover recently.
They did.
So, like, a lot of that sustained success will almost be lost just because they had lost some chemistry. And then my top 5 reasons are Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Markkinen, John Collins, and Walker Kessler. Like, not bad players.
That's a better lineup than the Nuggets. What are you talking about?
Especially Lowry was playing phenomenal last season.
He was. Like, they're not bad players by any means, but they are, like, they haven't had time to gel with each other, and none of them are, like, great players.
Yeah.
So
I think I like that lineup over the Spurs or the Rockets, though.
the coaching for the Spurs for me. And then the Rockets, I think, have had a lot more time to gel as a unit. And a couple of their young players are already starting to show great signs. Green is looking like he might be somewhat of a problem. Certainly not likely to rise to all NBA level at this point yet, but good enough to stay out of the bottom spot in my mind.
They did just lose one of their better young pieces, though, in Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah. But then they got the Celtics coach.
Emi Udoka or whatever.
Udoka, yeah.
Yeah.
Udoka, yeah. And
Yeah.
And they added Fred VanVleet is one of those ones that I dissed the offseason addition, mostly because what does it add to your team right now? But he will be a benefit to their team. Like I said, Jalen Green, huge. Dylan Brooks is a problem, but he'll still contribute to your team.
He's got that dog in him.
Also, we got a notification. We're recording this on Tuesday. He's already had his first ejection of the season in a preseason. But I think that this team has a couple of young, promising guys that are going to progress in this year, as well as gel more with each other, and that'll lead to enough success to evade the bottom.
Yeah. I think the most difficult thing in this for me... Actually, sorry, Evan, do you want to talk about why you have the Rockets?
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm glad that you guys had reasons because I just fucking hate the Rockets. I want them to fail. It's, again, Jazz, Blazers, Spurs, Rockets, I think for all of us are an absolute roll of the dice.
Yeah.
And the other tough thing is, too, is I have the Thunder 11, and Jonathan has them 5, and Mike has them 7. I honestly don't have a good argument for saying the Thunder aren't making the playoffs. It's just the West is a mess.
The good argument is look at the top 10 teams.
Yeah,
that's a good
That's
argument.
as much as he needs.
Yeah, and then even for the Blazers, I don't think it's going to happen, but I feel like the Blazers lineup is decent enough that they could sneak into that 10 spot if 10-11 fail enough. If 10-11 fail enough. I'm not, again, I don't think it'll happen, but
it'll take the Timberwolves trading a couple of pieces and maybe the Grizzlies absolutely imploding without Ja, but it could.
I'm just throwing it out there as an example of saying the West is an absolute mess and is literally the Wild West and anything can happen.
Yeah.
And so
Wiki.
The other tough part is that what sucks for I feel like the Rockets, Spurs, Blazers, Jazz, even if you wind up being the 15th seed in the West, I'm not sure you're going to be a top 3 lottery selection, honestly. The East is just so much worse. And who knows? Thanks to the new anti-tank rules, you could still end up with the number 1 overall pick, but I I'm not sure. Like, I could see them even being maybe 5th. Like, the East sucks so fucking bad. Like, and all these teams, like, it's funny. Somehow all those East teams that suck have sucked forever and haven't been able to fix it. And all these West teams that quote unquote suck are in the process of fixing it. Like, I don't know what it is about those Eastern Conference teams, but like Blazers, Spurs, Rockets, Jazz, I fully expect to be good teams within the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's absurd. Like, it was so hard. Like, I think the biggest part of me that hated making this was like 10 out of 15 teams make the quote-unquote postseason, however you want to define the play-in tournament. And I have Luka and Kyrie missing it. I was like, how do I put that?
And Jonathan and I have them barely scraping in, but yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy how deep the West was. And I feel like I'm going back, because I feel like last year, towards the end of the NBA season, I was like, oh, the East is up and coming, and they're like beginning to close the gap. No, they're fucking not. The West is nuts.
Like, the good teams are crazy good. The Bucks and the Celtics have every right to say that they can that they can win the championship, and they absolutely can.
Like,
but it's those two.
It's those two, which means that their odds are roughly like 25%, because they have to go through each other once, coin flip. They have to go through the West once, coin flip.
Yeah.
Whereas the West has to go through 3 rounds of disaster before they get to the best team in the East.
Right. Like potentially, like, who I have the Nuggets and the Phoenix, like, could in the first round potentially be playing the, like, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and, like, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Like, that could be their first round.
Yeah.
And that's absurd, considering the East is, you'll play against maybe the Pacers.
You'll play against
maybe Toronto.
You'll play against the guy who was a milkman until a couple of weeks ago. And then, but yeah, I mean, like, Jonathan, going off of your rankings here, like, you would have the Nuggets supposedly facing, the Grizzlies or the Kings.
I like that matchup.
You like that matchup, but at the same time, you would rather be the Bucks going up against, like...
Oh, without a doubt.
The Raptors or the Bulls or, like... So it's... Right. The West is nuts. I'm hoping that all the points I get out of this whole thing come from the East, because... like... I would love to be absolutely correct, but I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Yeah. I feel good. I think I'm going 15 for 15.
I think I'm going 16 for 15.
Oh, God.
So let's see. If Micah goes 15 for 15, I would get 1.
Right. Next week, we're doing the playoff prediction based on our current standings, so stay tuned for that. We'll have to clarify how we're going to score that as well, if we're even going to include it, but in our competition.
Yeah. I don't know if we need to score that part, because that gets very convoluted.
Yeah. We'll probably like redo it when playoffs come anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right, but now over to everyone's favorite time of the week, trivia. Woo, so up to this point, we have each had a chance of leading trivia. I currently lead with 2 points. Micah has 1. Jonathan has 0. Hopefully today will be the day that Jonathan gets on the board. So for today's segment, I am going off of you guys
done NFL.
Okay. Like I said, I put a lot of work and effort into this to make it so that it's much simpler, like not simpler, but you'll see what I mean here in a second. Right. So we are doing the most rebounds since the 2000 to 2001 NBA season. So when I was saying earlier that I had to do a bunch of math, this means that I am only counting rebounds tallied since 2000.
Gotcha.
So if you're...
And you have to have been on the team, too.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Like we're talking players, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you meant who got the most rebounds in the 2001
No.
season. I was like,
no, since that year. So the cutoff. Right. So the cutoff is 2000.
Okay,
2000, 2001. So that means, like, just for example, guys like Shaq, Jason Kidd, Sean May, like those kind of guys who also played in the 90s.
Will only get the rebounds.
Yeah, every single rebound they tallied during the 90s doesn't count.
All right.
Gotcha. So this is just from here on out. It'll be the same structure I did in our opening episode of the season where I just give you guys the grid. You get team logos. You will get the number of rebounds they accumulated. And I am also doing the point system where it's different points per each tile. Other thing to note, the logo on the player is the team that they tallied the most rebounds with.
Okay.
So players that bounced around, it was whatever team they got the most with. Some of the guys, obviously, it was like they stayed on one team, but
All right.
yeah. So hold on really quick before I show you guys the grid. I'm going to flip a coin. Jonathan, heads or tails?
Heads.
Idiot.
It is tails. Micah, I'm guessing you would like to go first.
I would. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Technical difficulties. All right, here we are.
All right. Let's see. So a lot of those are obvious. Let's see. What's the...
Again, I love that you did different point values.
Yeah, that's a good. Oh, okay.
I shouldn't have pointed that out.
No, that was what I was looking for. I was looking for the
Okay.
biggest ones. Oh gosh, that's so hard. Like, the 2 Pistons ones.
2 Pistons, 2 Cavs. Yeah, it's...
Oh man. Jeez.
We're also going to do, because this is recency, and I'm hoping
Oh, you have
guys...
to pick which
Oh,
one
yeah.
you're thinking
Yes.
for it? Too?
Yeah. Because it's recency, we're going to go off of 6 strike rule. So 6 misses, you're out.
Okay.
Yeep.
Oh.
No pressure.
Oh man. Jeez. I want to go for one of the Pistons ones, but
I'm
it's.
not winning this one.
I'll say the. Or should I just go safe? I feel like I should just go safe. I hate this. This is great.
Maybe we'll expand the strikes. We'll see how you guys do.
9,051 Pistons. Is Andre Drummond?
Incorrect.
Damn it.
1 strike for Micah.
99-63 Pistons is Andre Drummond.
Yes, it is.
Alright. Fuck. I knew I should have played it safe. Who would the other Pistons be?
Right?
You guys are going to feel dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
I'm going to feel dumb on all of these, Evan. Like,
I don't think
you don't realize how recently I started paying attention to the NBA. I have cared so much these last, 6 years.
So you're a bandwagon, is what you're saying.
No. I'm saying that I wasn't in a college dorm room where people watched basketball until 6 years ago.
That's fair.
And my dad didn't watch or pay for, League Pass or anything. That was 7 years ago.
the Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard.
Which one?
14-6-27.
Yeah, Dwight Howard.
I'll just take a point. Do you know the logos I'm showing?
You know.
Thanks.
They were updating on my screen.
I shouldn't have done that one.
Nuggets is Jokic.
No, it's not.
Really?
One strike, Jonathan.
The Grizzlies, Marc Gasol.
No, it is not. 2 strikes, Micah.
Jeez.
All right, we may have to expand the strikes. We'll see how this goes.
Unless I'm winning when he gets 6.
Well, I don't want to end with you fuckers getting 3 players.
To be clear, these are all, if a team is included with the points, it is the leader of that team in rebounds for that period? Or is it not necessarily?
No, this was, the logo is the team that they got the majority of their career rebounds.
Oh, it's not even. It doesn't even have to be with that team.
No.
Okay.
So, like, if a player was flipping teams all the time, this is part of me doing math. It was me doing math to see which team they accumulated most of their rebounds with.
God.
Coda agrees. You guys might just have to start plucking off the easy ones.
There aren't any.
What are you talking about?
I mean,
I'm bad at this.
I think I have at least one other.
Thank God, Micah.
I also feel like every single one in the top row should be fairly easy. I know I put 2 points on the Lakers, but I feel like even that one should click fairly easy, along with the Spurs, T-Wolves, and Mavs.
This is okay. I understand.
Career rebounds post 2000.
Yeah.
Post 99.
And it's everyone that the player got, they don't all have to be with the team that they're listed on.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
But only the rebounds they got after 2000.
Okay, so just as an example, the Timberwolves 11-3-12. Does that necessarily need to be the highest rebound total for the Timberwolves in that period?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
Granted, I think it is, but no.
I would be shocked if it wasn't. Yeah.
All right. After Jonathan has this pick, I am going to institute a play clock.
I'm going to go... Lakers is Anthony Davis.
No. 2 strikes, Jonathan.
He's not that high yet?
11,000 career rebounds?
Yeah.
You think he's gotten more for the Lakers than he ever got with the Pelicans?
That's a good
In
point.
half the years?
Clippers is DeAndre Jordan?
Yes, it is.
Good.
That was another easy one.
I would have just quit if that was wrong.
How long was he on that team?
We'll be doing a 30-second pick clock.
Fuck me.
I'll give you warnings every 10 seconds.
Rare sense.
10.
That is. The larger for the Cavaliers is LeBron James.
Yep.
Oh, damn, good job.
Starts crying.
I might.
I really didn't think this would be that crazy.
I'm gonna feel like an idiot when you reveal some of these, but also, yeah, I didn't follow the NBA enough that early.
Spurs has got to be Duncan, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why when I said easy, like,
Yeah.
if you just thought about it for a second, it's like, oh yeah.
I'm so tempted by this one.
Do it. Pull it. You have plenty of strikes left. You're both at 2. We might expand that to 8. 10 seconds, by the way.
I just don't remember how long he played. I'll go for it. I know he was on the team at this period. Atlanta Hawks, is that Dikembe Mutombo?
It is not, no.
Okay. I didn't think he was there long enough.
He didn't play enough years in the early 2000s, yeah. All right, Mike, it's you.
I can't.
20 seconds left.
I want to guess one of the Jazz ones, but I don't want Jonathan sniping me like he did with the Pistons.
10.
The Mavericks, Dirk.
Yep. Easy one. Jonathan, it's you.
How old is he?
20 seconds left.
Not old enough.
She's concerned about you.
Is Grizzlies Gasol?
It is not.
I already guessed that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it!
Yeah.
I won't count that as. I won't count that as.
so long
What?
thinking.
That is
No.
absolutely a strike.
Okay, fine. We'll count it as.
I've spent so long thinking, and I'm bad at this.
If it's a strike for me, it's a strike for him.
You haven't had such a strike yet.
It's Timberwolves, Cat.
Cat?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No
It
way.
felt, yeah.
Oh. No.
20 seconds left.
I haven't been thinking about it. Oh, 20 seconds left. I have time to think.
You just wasted almost 10 whole seconds. 10 seconds left.
Fine. This seems so stupid. Nuggets Mellow?
Nope.
Yeah.
Is Portland the Marcus Aldridge?
Yes, it is.
Fuck yeah.
Tie game.
Love
He
you, LA.
wasn't. Yeah, I forgot that he was there longer.
He was there forever, dude.
Yeah. That one hurt when he went to San Antonio. Along with the other 3 starters.
Just on how this is going so far, we are going to expand it to 8 strikes.
That's how I was hoping. Okay, actually, that probably works better for me.
It does.
Yeah, good.
Okay, wait, do you want me to expand it after you have your turn on them?
Yeah, Nuggets
Yeah,
is
fair.
for Reed.
No.
Okay.
8 strikes. You're
that?
at 4, you're at 3.
Okay.
Clock
I know it wasn't him. There's no way he got more rebounds than anyone else, or than with any other team. I know it wasn't him.
I just want to give up on the Nuggets for this one, buddy. 20 seconds, Micah.
I doubt that would have been him. That feels too old to be him.
10 seconds.
Is the Thunder Steven Adams?
No.
Okay.
4 strikes to 4 strikes. Jonathan, to you. Clock going. You're like writing down your guesses as you go.
I'm writing down picks that I think things could be.
15 seconds, Jonathan. 5, 3, 2, 1. What's your guess?
Can I pass without a strike for now? Just give him another chance?
I mean, I guess that passes it back to you without him taking a shot. So
I would like him to take a strike.
just send one.
I'm not sure I have a good guess anywhere right now.
Yeah, you got 4 strikes left. You're only halfway through your strikes.
I also haven't been writing down his guesses because I think he already guessed my only decent guess.
It's going to be a strike if you don't guess anyway.
That's
We'll throw out a name. You're running this. Can you just strike him?
5, 4, 3.
he was the one who said no passes.
1.
You're running it. Don't let him sway you.
I'm not letting him sway me. All right, strike to Jonathan.
God damn it.
Is the Thunder Kevin Durant?
No. See, he tied you in strikes. 5,
Well,
5.
here's the thing: is he's holding off on his Jazz guess until I'm already eliminated. Is why.
Not necessarily.
Dude, there's plenty
I'm holding off
there
on the
is-
Jazz guess because you already sniped my Pistons guess.
I'm expanding it to 45 seconds to give you more time. There's plenty of other low-hanging fruit here, in my mind.
Theoretically.
I know I'm the one that set it up, but
I mean, my odds are probably worse than a coin flip if I don't go for the Jazz. So which one do I think it is?
Yeah, because if that was
15 seconds left, Jonathan.
I feel good about that one.
So my guess is Jazz Rudy Gobert, and the number would be 81-92 for the game.
That is incorrect.
God damn it.
Is 79-33 Rudy Gobert?
Yes, it is.
I would have guessed
How is
higher
he that
too.
low?
I would have guessed higher too. Clock's starting. Your turn.
Give me the strike. It's over.
You're just gonna quit
Come
like
on.
that?
You
I
got
have
45
no good
seconds.
guess. I have no good guess left.
For the Thunder or the T-Wolves?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I know they should be obvious. I know I'm going to hate myself for a couple of these when they're revealed, but yeah, I just don't know well enough.
All right, strike to Jonathan. Micah.
Is the T-Wolves Garnett?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I didn't think he played long enough into the 2000s for that.
I mean, I didn't in my head either.
What do you mean
but
into
if,
the 2000s? He didn't start his career until the 2000s. He played like all of the early 2000s with the T-Wolves and then went to the Celtics.
he felt older to me too
I thought he was,
until
like-
I saw Dirk.
I think he started his career in like 95. Which
no, I think he started his career in 99.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan, you got to guess again, or are you just taking me out?
I mean, I think he already guessed it. My guess for the Magic was Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he's already uncovered.
Yeah. Oh, there was a second Magic one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dwight was the number one guy.
Yeah, then I don't know.
Is the Lakers Shaq?
No.
Okay.
That's technically 7 strikes, Micah, so if you want to take one more shot to just boost your score a little bit more.
Yeah, I want to keep going. This is fun.
Put in all this work just for people to give up.
This Thunder one is killing me, because if it's not Steven Adams, it's not Kevin Durant. Oh, no. Could it? Is it Russ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stat padding machine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess he's averaging triple doubles and shit. No, that was 90s. There's no way he got that many with the Pistons.
Who are you thinking of? Just out of curiosity. I won't give.
I was thinking of Rodman, but there's no way that could be him, right?
No, it's not him. Because he played for the Pistons before he went to the Bulls.
Yeah,
so I don't even think he ever went back to the Pistons in the 2000s.
Trying to think of who else would have gotten a ton of rebounds for the Magic if it's not Shaq or Dwight. Other centers who played there. Okay. Center for the Suns. Or the Cat.
Don't just think centers, honestly.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of these remaining guys aren't centers.
Okay, so people who've been around the league for a very long time and just would have racked that up. Someone for the Cavs that would play that long there to get that much. It wouldn't be him. There's no way he played long enough to get that.
Who are you thinking?
Joakim Noah for the Bulls.
I'm trying to cheat right now, and I'm still struggling to figure out who the Nuggets one is.
Someone who would have played that long for the Lakers and gotten that many. What position is the Lakers?
Center / power forward.
Okay.
Think Kobe's second three-peat.
It's not Pau, is it?
It is Pau Gasol.
Wow. And Marc Gasol's not on there? Dang. I guess, yeah. Marc Gasol's not on there, right?
No.
Okay. I was like, if he's not the Grizzlies, there's no way he's on there. I just want to get these out of principle. What position does the Bulls play?
Bulls. Power forward or center.
Is he currently in the league?
No.
Okay. Big man for the Bulls. Post.
Okay, I think I figured out the Nuggets one, but
I mean, at this point, we're just shooting.
I did not think. I didn't realize how many, because I knew that his stint in Denver was shortish. I didn't realize how many other teams he bounced between.
Do you want me to just unveil him, Micah?
I wouldn't have expected his greatest period of time to be Denver.
No, who would you got for Denver? Say it.
I cheated.
I don't care. Say it.
Marcus Camby.
Yeah,
Seriously?
Yeah, I even debated saying that one, and I talked myself out of it because I thought for sure he spent more time in New York. He didn't. He spent one less year in New York, and then he bounced between 4 other teams in his time in the 2000s.
Or how many of these are current players?
Current players. The Hawks one is a current player. Magic is a current player. Cavs is a current player, and that's it.
Is the Magic Mirotic?
No.
Okay. Current player that played on the Hawks for a while.
I would say that and the Jazz one are the two most difficult ones on this entire board.
Okay.
Which two?
The Jazz and the Hawks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. I know you want to give him Micah, but
go for it.
All right, the Bulls at 10,467, Tyson Chandler.
Okay.
Grizzlies at 10,208, Zach Randolph.
Oh, I was thinking him. Then I forgot that I was thinking him.
Suns at 9,769, Sean Marion.
Okay.
Cavs at 9,065. I'm surprised no one guessed Kevin Love.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm surprised he's so close to LeBron, though.
I mean, LeBron went to the Heat and has been on the Lakers for a long.
Yeah, but it's total, right? Since 2000.
Kevin Love has been playing a long time, and Kevin Love is predominantly a rebounder.
Yeah.
So, Detroit Pistons. This is the one I said you guys are going to feel stupid. Ben Wallace.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Honestly, I don't feel that stupid.
Nikola Vucevic is the Magic.
Oh, that's what I meant when I said Mirotic. I meant Vucevic. I got the wrong Baltic names.
All right, the two most difficult on the board, the Utah Jazz at 8,192, Carlos Boozer.
Really?
And the Atlanta Hawks at 8,161, Al Horford.
Oh, I feel like I should have gotten that one, actually.
Yeah, honestly.
I think for Al Horford, it's just tough.
Hard to connect him with Hawks.
Yeah, you just don't think of him as a Hawk. Same with Carlos Boozer. You connect him more with the Bulls rather than the Jazz. But so, all right. Well, I'm glad that Micah at least had fun.
It was a good game.
That was a very fun game.
I'm not very good at this game, but it was a good game.
I have some ideas for doing this similar stuff to this for the NFL. So I'll probably do that on the next.
Yeah.
The next go round. But Micah takes it at 10-5. Congratulations, Micah. All right. Now to our final segment of the day, Sportsbook Showdown. We'll kick it over to Jonathan for his first bet.
Yeah, so I really wanted to parlay this with the other undefeated team for their first loss, but it wouldn't let me.
Damn it.
I'm just taking the Eagles to win this week and then lose next week, week 7 versus the Dolphins.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Plus 200, 2 units down.
I like that bet.
Thank you. Me too.
All right, Mike, over to you.
I've got all money line. I've got the Lions, the Eagles, the Seahawks, and the Jaguars all winning this week. I don't remember off the top of my head who they're playing, but they all felt like pretty solid. All right, okay, so it's let's see, where is it?
Take notes, Micah.
Lions beating the Buccaneers. I think they should. Eagles beating the Jets. I think they very much should. Seahawks beating the Bengals is a little weird. Both of those teams can be good or bad. It's kind of tough to tell. Then Jaguars facing the Colts. I think Jaguars are on a hot streak that they'll continue.
And Anthony Richardson is out, so.
Yeah, so I feel good about this. It's plus 676. I put 3 units on it.
Like it. I'm going moneyline parlay as well. I'm going Chargers, Texans, and Commanders to win this week. Plus 864. Putting a unit down on that. God, please, if any of these teams win, please let the Chargers beat the shit out of the Cowboys. Because Dallas needs to be taught a lesson.
Yeah, for my second bet of the week, I'm going with my power rankings parlay, and that means I am taking money line for teams who are not favored, but I have ranked above their opponent. And there's only 2 this week, a relatively mundane thing. Commanders over the Falcons and Seahawks over the Bengals. That gives me plus 388 for 2 units.
I like that bet. I feel like I've said that to most of your bets, though, and I don't think you've had any
I have not hit
far.
one. Yeah.
So, bad bet. I did some division winners, little into the season to get a taste for it, and picked some underdogs to up the odds there. So I got the Buccaneers, Steelers, Jaguars, and Dolphins, and Eagles all winning their division. I actually Eagles I feel pretty darn good about. Dolphins I think they can do, especially with that last Bills loss. Jaguars I think are figuring everything out and should do it. Steelers and Buccaneers are the wild card that are like currently set to kind of do it, but they probably shouldn't continue to. But if they do, that'd be nice. So that's at a plus 1,513, and I put a unit on it.
Love it. All right, I'm going all Detroit betting here. Even though they're a rival of the Packers, I just can't help but root for them. The city of Detroit has just been hurting for so long. You can't help but root for them. I'm doing Detroit Lions money line. Also doing over 23.5 points. The Lions have scored over 23.5 in every single one of their games so far this season. No reason to think that won't happen this weekend as well. And Lions over 2.5 touchdowns. David Montgomery has been an absolute beast this year, so he'll likely get one. Jared Goff has been looking very, very good, so I think them getting 3 touchdowns is a very easy feat for them.
Yeah. For my final bet of the week, I'm picking quarters in the Broncos-Chiefs game because I saw a recommended bet where Chiefs win every quarter, and I was insulted, but didn't disagree, but insulted. And really good odds, part of that because the Broncos probably shouldn't win a single quarter, and the other part, if you currently use promo code I live in Colorado, there's no promo code, you just have to live here, then you get a 50% odds boost on this right now, which I factored in. Without that, it's like plus 7,800. Anyways, Broncos first quarter, tied second quarter, Chiefs to close it out. I didn't add Chiefs winning it because that didn't do anything to move the number. But that will happen. 1 unit.
So this is purely the points scored in that quarter, not the ending score of that quarter.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. It's good to know you bet like Marty McFly being called a chicken. I'll show you.
All right. My final bet of the week is the first NBA bet of the season. Woo! And as soon as I placed it, I thought, why did I place this? I want the Bucks to win it all because of Dame. But I think the Phoenix Suns are going to win the championship this year. So they were plus 650. I felt pretty good about it. So put in a unit on it.
I will be throwing a competitive bet down at some point soon.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I probably should do it right now because after a couple of trades, the Nuggets odds are as good as they've ever been. So maybe next week. But
I like it. All right, for my final bet, getting very, very specific here. Jaguars playing the Colts this weekend. I'm doing Jacksonville Jaguars first drive result, granular rushing touchdown for their first drive of the game. Ooh. Colts have the 30th ranked rush defense in the NFL.
And the Jags have Etienne.
Yeah, and the Jags have Travis Etienne, who is coming off a hell of a week.
And it doesn't need to be Etienne.
Yeah, that's also so. Trevor Lawrence is fully capable of also taking it in himself, and they have a couple other running backs. So I like this one. It's plus 850, putting 2 units down on that.
I like first and goal at the 5. It's going to be a rushing touchdown.
For sure, yeah.
Yep.
Not bad.
So Dougie P, please, red zone rush the football. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Jonathan, take us out.
Russell Wilson will win a ring with the Denver Broncos eventually.
That is a hot take.
It is actually a hot take.
That is flaming.
All right, good night, y'all.
Good night.